Fight on!
Yo guys, what's up? Welcome back to Top Tier Arcade. My name is Steve, and you're back with me in the apartment. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Double Dragon the Arcade Part 3, which is the game review. That's right, we're going to be taking a look at the history of Double Dragon, some tips, tricks, things you may or may not know of. If there's anything I missed, maybe wrong, comment below, like, dislike, do whatever you got to do, and let me know, because I always love to learn and improve. So again, let's take a look at it. I have my faithful cheat sheet. There's some really cool things I want to talk to you about. And let's move forward. And with that, thanks again for your ongoing support. I had a really rough week last week for my grandmother's passing and other personal things in my life. Heartfelt thank you to everyone that's been supportive and just overall generally nice and being a human being, which is rare. I don't know why. I always find that's rare these days, but maybe there's more hope for mankind than I thought. Either way, it's a new day. Let's move forward. And let's review Double Dragon. Let's get to it. So, what can I say? Double Dragon was released in 1987 by Technos in Japan. In the US, it was Taito. And with that, one of the first beat-em-ups, really. And not only that, I would think one of the, if not the most influential beat-em-up. It's a successor to Renegade, which is the Japanese kind of version, which is pretty much the same maker of. And, it bits you that it's Billy and Jimmy Lee. So Billy is in blue, or Hammer in the United States. I guess they try to Americanize it. And Jimmy is in red, or Spike. So it pits you against the Black Warriors gang. So Black Warriors gang, they pretty much kidnap your girlfriend. So Billy's girlfriend, which is Miriam, is kidnapped by them. As you can see here at the intro, she gets gut punched in the breadback. So she gets punched in the stomach and take it away. Now it's funny because I was doing some review on the game in the months even before I really started Top Tier, and I found out that, and I did read this somewhere, that this game was banned in Germany because of that. Because it was violence against women, and I guess they didn't want to encourage younger kids to, just punch someone in the stomach, especially females. So this game was banned in Germany, as far as what I read, which is kind of crazy, but kind of makes sense as well. So the two brothers, the two twins, go and try to rescue Billy's girlfriend. One of the first, again, side scrolls as well, and one that I would think is the first to ever have you actually hit each other. If you don't know, you can actually hit each other in games like Final Fight or others. There's so many more beat-em-ups. I know there's maybe options now, but you can actually hit each other. And I always wondered why. Why would you be able to hit each other? While you're fighting, it's realistic. But why, if the two kind of protagonists were going against the bad guys, why would you be able to hit each other? So maybe there's a reason to that we'll get to in a second. So you go and fight, the bad guys, and that's pretty much that. Now there's a huge influence that this really in pop culture and the history of it. So this had a huge, takeaway from Enter the Dragon. And yeah, the honest truth is, we'll think of it. The last name is Lee, like Bruce Lee, so Lee. Now the characters in here, which is Williams, which is in Enter the Dragon. There's a guy named Roper, but in this game they call him Loper. And also Bolo. Now, if you remember in Enter the Dragon, Bruce Lee goes against a guy named Bolo. Now, Bolo Young was an actor, and he's, if you remember, also Chun-Li in Bloodsport, which is one of my favorite movies in that era, especially a Van Damme movie. And he's actually, so here's the misconception. When you get to the mid-boss in the first level, and you'll see this when I do the actual gameplay in the play in the 5th video, that the first bald white mid-boss, the white one, is Bolo, which is a direct, pretty much influence to Enter the Dragon, because it's Bolo Young. Now, Abobo is the black boss, the first black boss, who's, you know, obviously kind of copying Mr. T with the whole look, with the, what's it called? The oh my god, it's escaping me. Oh my god, I'm blanking. What's his haircut? The mohawk. Yeah, so he has the black mohawk. Obviously looks like Mr. T, and that's a Bobo. Bolo is the white one, but in the NES, when they brought it to the console, because there's so many renditions of Double Dragon, but none were like the actual arcade. The music was different, the graphics were different, and it was just play different levels. Well, a Bobo in the actual, a lot of the renditions was, it was the white one. That's wrong. It's actually the black one that looks like Mr. T. And again, I'll show you in the gameplay. So there's a little misconception there. Also, yeah. So also, now I'm gonna. If you guys can maybe help me do this, it'd be kind of cool, and I would shout you out. I'm gonna try to have the sound effect of what the Bobos or Bolo makes when they throw you, and I'll show you in the gameplay when it's like they go like ah, which is one of my favorite game sound effects in history. I actually want to make that my incoming text message sound. I want to try to isolate it because it annoys my wife when you play it. I think it's the funniest sound effect, and again, I'll show you that in the game. The gameplay. So that's something honestly I want to do, the Bobo sound effect when he throws you. That's funny, and I definitely want to have that as a text message, incoming sound effect. So there's that. There's that Jimmy and Billy, Band of Germany, Renegade, Enter the Dragon, fight each other. Oh, so here's maybe another thing you don't know of. Now, interesting thing is, if you read the NES game description, so the NES game description pretty much says that it's a post-apocalyptic kind of Mad Max-ish street gang wars, and you know it's the brothers just going against the baddies, and you know trying to obviously rescue your Billy's girlfriend Miriam. Now, what it also says is, at the end of the game, and maybe this is why you can hit each other, to reference back to why you can hit each other, is if you beat the game, Willie's the last boss. He's the one with the gun. You'll see him here. So he's the one with the gun, which one shot kills you. So that's him. So that's the bad guy. That's the last guy. Well, it really isn't. Because if you're two players, and I'll show you this in my gameplay video, if Jimmy and Billy, or Hammer and Spike, whatever, if you're both on the screen and you beat Willie, the game's over, right? It isn't. You actually fight each other, and you fight for the girl. So if you are Billy and you beat Jimmy, you get the girl. But if you're Jimmy and you beat Billy, then you get the girl. What a whore. So she goes for whatever the brothers. And I've always laughed about that. I'm like, why? Why would she do that? Either way, so I've always found that cool. So in the NES instructions, it actually says that the real shadow boss is Jimmy. He's the real boss. And he was kind of just fronting. And he's the real shadow boss. The real, he's kind of the strong arm of the Black Warriors gang. Which I always found kind of cryptic. I'm like, what? It's your brother? You're fighting against each other and then you fight for your girl? That's bizarre. Also, if you see here, see the wanted posters? Well, if you, in the next levels, and I'll show you guys when I do my gameplay, that is, so these are the actual bosses in the game. So that is actually a Bobo, which is the black boss, and then that's, you know, that's another boss. So it actually shows you, you know, the different bosses, which is kind of cool. So it shows they're wanted, and you get to fight them. And I'll show you guys that. So there's a lot of inside kind of tips. That car that you see there comes from another Tato game, which is escaping me. I'm sorry, I should have been a little more prepared. But yeah, that game comes from another Tato game. Also with that, it's kind of cool. I'll show you guys a little something that I read online and I found out. So if you guys are a fan of the music of the game, which I love again, what really got me to this, and once, if you turn on all the arcades, and you have the attract mode on, there's nothing more piercing than the Double Dragon attract theme music. It's my favorite attract mode or music. It's the best attract music in my opinion. The attract music you only hear at the very end when you fight Willy. So once your feet touch the red carpet, and I'll get to that in the gameplay, the theme song will play. And what I'm going to do is, let me show you a kind of little cool trick how to hear the music if you want to, and you just want to let it run, or if you want to record it, you know, for your own personal use. And also what I'm going to do is, I'm going to turn the dip switches on for the attract mode just to hear, because it is my favorite attract mode. It's piercing during the arcade, and you hear it more than anything. Maybe second only to Dalzim's annoying elephant that you hear in the attract mode. But when it comes to music, Double Dragon you can't beat. So here's a little cool trick. So if I coin up, so we'll coin up, boom, banned in Germany. So look, panties on the go. Come on, look how crazy that is. So here comes Billy to fight. So obviously the music's playing, right? Well, if you want, and I'm gonna get out of the way, let me take you. If you hold down, so obviously you can hear the music. Sick music, sick music. If you wanted to just hear the music and not hear me get punched in the face or any sound effects, all you have to do is hold down the coin. So this is obviously where let me focus. So this is obviously when the coin comes in and triggers a new coin. Well, if you hold down, so watch this. So just say we're playing, right? If you hold down the coin accept, what happens is it actually pauses the game. So nothing's happening. No power's being drained, nothing. So if you ever wanted to just listen to the music, hold down the coin accept and you can just hear the music. Yeah, and it won't drain, and it's like pausing the game. So if you ever want to pause the game or just listen to the music, just hold down the coin, and once you let it go, it accepts it and the game continues. So that's actually an interesting way to pause, technically, Double Dragon and just hear the music if you want to check it out. Now, what I'm going to do is, you know what, I'll do it live. Why don't I do that? So I'm going to turn the game off. Okay, so I just turned the game off. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything in my cheat sheet here. So again, this is going to be a shorter video. I mean, if you guys want a full review, you can always look it online. Maybe I can, I'll leave some links. Why not? I'll leave some links in the description below for where I got my information if you want to read more about it. Again, this is just one of the quicker videos because you guys probably know about the history. Again, there's been a lot of different variations of Double Dragon, whether it's the NES, computer, the remakes, the Double Dragon Neon, which is actually pretty good. You know, obviously Double Dragon 2 The Revenge, which was an arcade game. Number 3, the Rosetta Stone, which they're just not the same. The number 3 is shit, but number 2 is okay. But you know, they're good, but they're just not the same. And I never understood why wouldn't they just make it. Apparently, it was on like the Xbox Live. Once they lost the license, they pulled it. Then they made a Game Boy Advance remake, which is actually really good. But again, nothing compares to it. And this is why it's one of my Grail games. It was a had to. It was just so iconic. And again, next video when I go into my memories, man, I have some very sick stories for you. Very interesting, very fun. And if there's ever a time that I'm going to bring you back in my childhood and the reason why I love arcade machines, it's going to blow your mind. So, let's quickly make sure I haven't forgot. So that's done. Good. Game banned in Germany. I've always found that funny. I'm like, why? Why would they ban it in Germany? I mean, well, the Germans have never done anything wrong. Anyways, actually, forget. I'm not going to say anything. So, yeah. I mean, yeah. So turn the dips. Okay. So let's do that. So let's actually get this up. So here's why this game's sick, man. Again, in my cabinet, obviously, my cabinet review, or the cabinet review, you can see it. Such an easy, oh damn it, I always have it open. Such easy to work on. Where's the dip switches? Oh, here. You know what took me, when I first got this game, it took me like 20 minutes to find where the dip switches were. I'm like, where? I'm like, they're right there, because they kind of blend. Sometimes they're red, like Street Fighter or whatever, they're red, but these ones are just black. All right, so let's do this together, because I have to have that attract mode on for you, and I'll crank it. So I've just pulled up the manual. Where is it? There it is. So number 3, sound. So dip switch set 2. The third one to have sound is have it off. So there it is. So switch 2. If the third one have it, can you see that? Have it off. So I just turned out, and now again, I'll put it back. But yeah, so it's right there off. So okay, probably a good idea to do the dip switch settings when the game's off. I don't know if it even work if you had them on, I'll be honest, but I don't want to find out the hard way. So let's turn it on. I'm telling you, man, one of it is my favorite. My favorite attract sound, and the best theme song. Oh my god. You know what? I'm gonna let that play. Can you guys see me? I'm gonna crank it for you guys. So again, one of the best. Can you guys see me? Oh, it is the best. When I have all these games on, Street Fighter's loud, Killer Instinct can get loud, whatever. Nothing pierces an arcade like this damn theme song. I remember, like I was telling you in my pickup video, I would literally go on YouTube, type in Double Dragon theme, and listen to it and loop the damn thing. Even at the gym I would listen to it. So everyone's like, yo man, you're hyped, what do you listen to? I'm like, the Double Dragon theme song. And they go, what? They just don't get it, because it just got me so pumped, because I wanted it so badly. Easily the best theme. Easily, shit. Let me turn it up one sec. What the hell is it? Here it is. I would just walk out to this. This is stupidly loud. I can't wait when Top Tier evolves, because remember, this is still version 1.0, because I'm still gathering. And again, I'll start to give you guys what my vision is and my master plan, and this is where I'm going to really need you, because I need advice. I need people that genuinely give a shit about what I want to do, and someone that really likes arcade machines and just overall man cave. Not even a man cave, because a lot of females like this. My wife likes them as well. But again, probably the first person you've seen in an apartment have 6 arcade machines. Plus, you know, maybe more, but hey man, who cares? Who gives a shit? So, what was I saying? Yeah, so once I just can't wait. I can't wait for, I can't wait for everything to be on, and the attract mode of this just blasting. I can't wait. This theme song, I'm telling you, if you have this game, will pierce through any damn attract mode that you have. Either way, what I'm going to do is, you know what, we'll sign off. It's a shorter video. I don't want to ramble. That's pretty much Double Dragon. If I've missed anything, please comment below. Always fun doing it. I'm going to turn the dip switch off just because, again, I want to, because it just gets loud, and I don't mind it, but everybody else is like it's too loud, but when people come over. But with that being said, guys, it's been a pleasure yet again. Always having a great time doing. Subscribe if you haven't. Tell your friends. Honestly, it's free. Press subscribe. I come with videos every week. There's going to be more variety coming out soon, which I have a lot of good in mind. Now that, you know, a lot of the hardships have passed, knock on wood, I'm going to be maybe expanding the channel a little, and I'll let you in on that soon. But With that being said, it's been a pleasure yet again. Always it is. Check it out. Let me know if there's any feedback. Hit me up if you need anything. More than happy to help. Again, thanks for choosing Top Tier Arcade, and we'll see you. Peace.